Hey y'all, if you don't think this scares me, when he's driving that tractor along the top of that ridge, yeah, that scares me. Can't really see him now on the other side of the trees. I don't know what he's doing up there. But anyway, I'm getting ready to open the gate, open the door. Chelsea's not able to come over and join me today. Just an exhaustion issue. Has everything to do with the myelination sheath, or not sure exactly what it's called. But these guys, I have a hard time doing this. I just do. Because I want to keep everything safe. Chelsea and Hugh and Aaron are all much better about this sort of thing than I am. And they all say, Mom, I'd rather see them live their best lives and enjoy things as to just be in a cage all the time. Here comes Ratchet. He's coming up first thing. He says, this isn't usually the way I go out. I usually let him out through the bird lot. But yeah, they need to come out and eat some greens. They do. They're all getting interested. They're coming over to check it out. Everybody's saying, you know, Ratchet, would you move? Would you move, please? Please move. But it was supposed to rain today, and it's still cloudy. But I looked on the forecast, and it's just the chance of showers this afternoon. Aw, don't. Don't be a bully, Dad. That's rude. So, the last time, if you remember, we had one little one that didn't make it back in here, and it took Hugh and Chelsea and I. And Chelsea couldn't really help. She was really struggling at that point in time, as she still is. But it took us a half an hour to catch it and put it back in here. And I haven't let them out since then. But, yeah. It's time. He's off the ridge, thankfully. I don't know where he's going. He's going back up. Ratchet, you need to come on out so the others can if they want to. There you go. Good one. Good one. Yes, yes. But they're all being very interested. Look how big they are, y'all. They're just enormous. They are enormous. And yeah. But see those little bitty ones right there in the door? Those are the ones I worry about. There comes Alana. She's the one that one of her babies was one of the ones that she didn't even know it was still missing, apparently. Or she wasn't worried about it. She has the two little blondes and the little gray. Come on out, babies. I need you to come out and eat some greens. when Hugh comes down, I'm going to ask him to run up to Seth's and bring me a great big bag of wood chips. And then I'm going to move all that, those old twigs and everything that we had set up in front of the places so they could have nests and feel private. Because they do nest on the ground. We built the nesting boxes, but none of them use them. But I think we'll just put something more substantial in there. Of course, they've enjoyed them, and they jump around on them all the time, the babies especially. Excuse me. I'm sorry, did I disturb you? If you would move out of the middle of the doorway, somebody else may come out. Weirdo. You're just about goofy. You are just about goofy. Yes, you are. This is okay. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But the thoughts of losing one of them or more of them, it just worries me so much. And you know, but keeping them in a cage is just not okay. It's not okay. I'm still going to, right here in this section, I'm still going to use that big netting to make a big outside enclosure. And that will be because next spring, when those mamas hatch more babies, that'll give them a place to hang out until, a big outside enclosure to hang out until the babies are big enough to come outside. Because I do think they need to be protected for a while anyway. You certainly don't want them coming outside when they're the size of a baby chick, and that's really the size they were when they were born. They were tiny. They were so very tiny. You guys can come on out here if you like. You can. This is green stuff. Yum. Yum. Okay, these I think are all Marguerite's babies. I don't know, this one closest to me, that one may be Merida's baby because it's smaller. But the one next to the door, that's one of Marguerite's babies. And this is Merida standing in the doorway. So yeah, I'd say that's her baby in front of her. But you can see how big they're getting. They're just not as big as their mama, but they're not far behind. Not far behind at all. There went some gucks. Now what are you doing there, Scooter? I don't know. It's like he scooted all of them back in except for this one little guy. And this one says, nope, Dad, I'm not coming in right now. Thank you very much. So I don't know. Watching their color change over time has been fascinating. Look, the one over there beside looking out the window. Well, you can come out the door, silly. But yeah, it's time. And I hope we don't lose any of them. I hope we don't lose any of them. I think they're all too big for the cats to harm at this point. And especially if they stay together as a group. But now all of those may be Marguerites. No, the one that's with Merida. And there's Merida and Marguerite in the doorway. But 3 of those are Marguerites, and her other one is still inside. I don't know what they're doing. Well, and I suppose that if you're not a bird lover, this is kind of like watching grass grow, paint dry. But if you're a bird lover, as I am, I'll just keep the camera rolling for those of you who are enjoying this. They want to come out and they're afraid to come out. That's funny. Red's just going to go exploring. Maybe if he gets out and away a little bit, they might come on out the door. Watch them run back and forth in there. That's pretty funny. So you can see the difference between Marguerite's baby, the one standing close to her, and one of, Merida's baby is the one standing close to her, and Marguerite's baby is the one over here to the left of the door. And Merida just has the one baby. I always worried about it a little bit much because of that, I guess. Watch them look. Looking around like, what is this out here? And of course now, Marguerite and Merida and Alana and Taylor, they're all the mama females. Taylor didn't have any eggs or have any babies. But they all lived outside. They've only been in an enclosure since we've had them, and 2 of them came in December and 2 of them in January. So, but they're just apparently not, I think there's something familiar about this, but I'm not sure what. Did you see him? He grabbed that right out of his mama's mouth. That was pretty funny. And she is very protective of him. I've seen her attack everything in there. Well, not everything, but a lot of things in there for even getting close to him. So her one little baby, she is going to protect it. Now guys, I expect you to show up about 5 o'clock. I will be down here with some bread. They love bread. Bread is like their favorite treat. And I don't know if it's good for them or not. I'm assuming no, so I don't give them much. but that's what the mamas all were given as a treat when they were living in South Carolina. And when we do bring bread, they absolutely adore it. So I'll use that as a treat every day at 5 o'clock, hoping they'll be standing out here ready for me to close them up, or that they'll be inside ready to be fed their little treat, and then I can close them up. But he's wandering around over there just being all brave. Look how floofed his neck is. Usually that means they're a little nervous, a little agitated. It's going to be pretty impressive around here when all these males start getting their tails in the spring. There comes Alana, our Merida, and her baby. You guys knock it off. Come out here and stop aggravating one another. Act like children. Just fuss at one another 'cause you can. Goofy ones. But anyway, what I was saying is that that big piece of netting that we purchased is 50 by 50. So we're going to build a 4-foot high wooden fence all the way around the outside of the structure. Of course, the wood fencing that's already there, we won't, we'll just attach onto it. But then we're going to build 8-foot tall, just a structure that we can bring the netting down over top of and attach it down to the 4-foot piece or fence, so that we don't have to buy a bunch of chicken wire. And I think we're going to try to find, he's either going to get some locust poles out of the woods, if he can find some nice straight ones that are about 14-15 feet tall, and we want 3 of them to bury in the center, and then we'll put some crossbars at the top, and that's what the netting will go across and then come down on the outside of the 8-foot structure and attach to the 4-foot fence, if any of that makes sense. But that will give them a nice big enclosure. I figure, where are you going, bud? Do you hear him? But we figured it'd probably be about 35 feet square. And that should be a nice size for them to be able to, have a good size space outside. But there again, if they're going to be outside anyway, they'll be fine. But that'll be a nice safe place for when the mamas start nesting and having babies again in the spring. I sure hope there's a lot of people out there that want baby chicks, because what are you doing there, Scooter? He's excited. He's going to start flirting with something out here. Look at him. Oh, you're funny. I have no idea what he thinks he's flirting with. They learn at an early age, don't they? But anyway, just in preparation for later. And hopefully this spring Justin and I've discussed this, and I hate to do this, but this spring, instead of leaving all these eggs underneath the mamas, we may pull some of the eggs out and see if, you know, we can sell the eggs or whatever, instead of letting so many hatch. Because we had 10, y'all, 10 babies hatch, and we've only lost one, and I think that she flew into the doorway because it looked as though, I mean, she was laying directly underneath of the door. So I think that she probably broke her little neck flying into the doorway. They get startled and excited in there, so. But I never had the intention of being a peacock farm, and that's not what I want to do. That is not what I want to do. I love them. They're beautiful birds. I enjoy watching them, but I also enjoy the ducks and the geese and the chickens, and none of them really pay for their upkeep. That one over there looking out the window again. Oh, he moved. And so it's an expensive hobby, and it's nothing that I want to have get any larger than it is now. And all of these babies, as they get a little older, we're planning on finding homes for them, and hopefully they'll at least sell for enough to pay for their upkeep, because they're expensive. We've been buying greens and berries for them since January, and that's expensive. So yeah, I just want them to pay for themselves. And that might sound a little harsh. I don't mean for it to. Look at those little ones underneath their mama. You better move. You're in a bad spot there, sister. That could get yucky in a minute. But the truth is, we're not made out of money. Can you catch it? Did you catch it? I think he got him a bug. And this was never on the radar. I mean, my goodness, we never expected that we were going to have a gazillion babies. Never. Well, seriously, that wasn't very nice. She said, go inside. Do what I said. And that's her baby right there. And she made all the rest of them go inside. That was Henri Merida. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm going to leave their door open. I've got to go down here in the garden and pull up all these pots that have Chelsea's peonies in them. I'm moving them to a different spot so that Hugh can plow down here. And just keep them safe and insulated this winter. And hopefully they'll be ready to go in the ground next spring. All right, y'all. There comes Mr. Hubie.
How many of them have ventured out?
They've came here and there. Say hi.
Hello?
A few of them have came out and they've gone back in.
I think if you'll move away from the door, they might all come out.
No, because they've came out and wandered around over there and then gone back in. So it's not me. They're just a little nervous of being outside.
The in there, they're molting.
Yeah. Well, they fly around and act crazy. But anyway, I guess I should go get busy. Merida, leave him alone. Henri. She's a booger. Alright, y'all. I'll let you know tomorrow how this went. And I hope your day is beautiful. It is so pretty here. There's just a slight breeze. Probably about 70 degrees or so. Maybe 75. But it is absolutely... Why'd you pull his feather out? That was Henri. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Alright. There's a slew of peacocks. Peafowl, I guess I should be, to be technical. Alright. I'll talk to you later. Love you much. Bye-bye.